So let's see how we can expand by removing brackets. So we're going to walk through some examples, and I believe that if you pay attention and follow through, ensure to watch, to the end. So you're going to master the process. So at the end of the video, you should familiarize yourself with expansion by removing brackets. So, but before we continue, I just want to share some very important thoughts with us as touching this topic. There are some things that we need to familiarize ourselves with before we delve into the calculations proper. So the first thing is, if you have when you want to get the products of two algebraic terms, say x and y. So you say we have x times y. X times y is equal to xy. Please, you need to take note. X times y is what? Xy. All right. So that you should get, or you should take note of that rather. X plus y is another one. Now, when we are dealing with algebra, what I mean by algebra means we're using unknown, we're using letters rather to represent some unknown numbers. Alright, so when we have x and y, they are not like terms. We can't add like terms together. In real life, it's just as though you're giving one orange and one pineapple. Even though orange and pineapple are fruits, but they are not the same fruit, so you can't count them together. Right, so I can't give you one orange and one pineapple and ask you how many orange do you have, and you say you have two oranges. It doesn't make sense. You have only one, but you have two fruits anyway, but you still have just one orange, one pineapple. So x plus y is simply x plus y. We can't do anything about that. What if you have x times x? Is simply x raised to power 2. If it's x times x times x, it's still x raised to power 3, and so forth. Now, another thing I want you to take note of is x squared plus x is not, they are not like terms also. You can't say this is 2x squared. You can't say this is 2x. X squared and x are not the same. So the answer will just be x squared and x. Please, they are not like terms. And there are many more, but finally, let's end it here. Say we have xy plus x. Please, xy and x are not like terms, even though they have x as a like term, but this one there is y here, why there is no y here, so we can't add them. So xy plus x is still xy plus x. I think if you know these facts, then it will become easier when we are dealing with the calculations. So just get rid of this and we start solving. So let's look at the first question. We have x minus, open a bracket, y plus z. So what you need to note is, please don't forget, it's very important. Anytime you have a negative sign before a bracket, don't stress yourself, just change the sign in the brackets. All the sign in the bracket is going to change. All right, so you just have to change the sign. But if you don't want to know it like that, you can also know it by the multiplication laws of signs. So where we have, if minus sign multiplies a negative sign, you have positive. If positive multiplies positive, you're still going to have positive. If negative multiplies positive, you have negative. So you notice that whenever the signs are not the same, you have negative. In this case, when minus is multiplying plus and all that, and then when the signs are the same, you have positive. But either way, just make sure you're familiar with these concepts, right? Or you can just take it the easy way out, that whenever a negative sign is before the bracket, the sign inside the bracket is going to change. But if it's a positive sign, just like in number 2, the sign will not change. So let's open this bracket. We'll put down our x, of course. So we have x minus, because of this negative sign here. Then we just open the bracket and change the sign. So you see that this positive sign here has changed to what? Negative. The reason for that is because it's a negative sign that is before the bracket. Another way we can see this is minus times y is minus y. Then minus plus here. This minus multiplying this plus, so minus plus, remember, is minus, and then that's how we have that as our answer. So you see that we have x, y, and z. They're not like them, so we can't do anything about it. That becomes the final answer. The next one is x plus y, s plus bracket y plus z. So we just have x plus y. Because of this a positive sign, the signs in the bracket are not going to change, so that's what we have as our answer, x plus y plus z. Okay, let's go forward. So we'll go to the next one. Let's look at number 3 there. So we have minus bracket. So you see a negative sign is before the bracket. So we're going to write everything and change the signs in the bracket. So we have minus 5e, right? So this minus is going to change to plus. I think I'll use red for that so you see what's going on. So that's plus now, plus 3f. Alright, we have another plus 7g there. So this becomes our final answer. So you see, because of there's a negative sign before the bracket, the signs inside the bracket is changing negative to positive. Alright, so let's go to the next one. So number 4, we have now you see this a number, but please I want you to note that this is still plus 9. Alright, though it was not written, but just see it as plus 9. So now when we have this case, what do we do? This is just the same as saying 9 times a. Of course, you know 9 times a is 9a. So but you see in this case now we have two terms multiplying. So 9 is going to first multiply this first term in the bracket and also do the same thing for the second term. So that's how to simplify that one. So let's do that. So this simply means 9 times a plus 9 times 3. That's what it simply means. So this is how to simplify. 9 times a is 9a plus 9 times 3 is what? 27. And then we've simplified this question. So we go to the next one. Question number 5. We have 8x into 3 minus y. Again, 8x is going to multiply the first term and then also going to multiply the second term. So we have 8x times 3. Now this is a negative sign there. You see that negative sign before y, so it's going to be minus 8x times y. So whenever you're multiplying an algebraic term with a number, just multiply the numbers first before you multiply with the algebraic term. The algebraic term here is x, so we have 8 times 3. We have that as 24. Then we just put our x minus 8x times y. So we have 8xy, and that's our final answer. You notice that we can't add all these things together because they're not like terms, or rather subtract because we're doing subtraction here. X and xy are not like terms, so that's why this becomes our final answer.